The heating is on again in the orbital. In fact, while management have gone away, the maintenance staff have turned the heating up. All of the windows have steamed up, and the place has taken on a humid, tropical air. Thermal long johns and woolly mittens have given way to gaudy Hawaiian shirts and Bermuda shorts. And, in one case, short shorts. Well, Harry Balzac always was one for bold fashion statements. Down at Budget Clones for You, the vats have started to sweat, and the staff are preparing to decant the latest batch a bit early. It's safe enough, but they do need a bit more looking after than they would if they went full term. Staff members have been nominated to be their mummy. The hotbox office has been converted into a mods clinic. There was an overpowering cabbagey smell, but the techs couldn't find anything in the air filters. In the end, floor mopping guy found one of Rampage's old thongs down behind a radiator, and now things are returning to normal. On the parade, McThargoids are selling their new summer range, including the sausage McStiffy, clownfish fries, parrot poppers, and the ever-popular tropical tentacled toasty. Gusto is half cut on Malibu and making rude gestures at the man from Vista Genomics who wouldn't buy the mold he found inside his clown shoes. Some sunbathers have raised the blast shields on the sunny side of the station, which faces Proxima Centauri, and are tanning themselves on lilos they found in a cupboard. The radiation's warning klaxons suddenly fall silent, and a voice announces,
"Our mics are live."
Good evening, everyone. I'm Wilma Fingadoo, and I've been kicking back on the sun deck with a cold beer and a good book.
I'm your Harkness, and I've overdone it with the sunblock. Now I keep sliding off my chair.
I'm Wang Kerr, and I've been creating my own cocktails. Anyone for an Alan Bennett? It has bitters and a Yorkshire pudding in it.
I'm Sandy Crevice, and I've got a bit of a sandy crevice. It's the last time I sunbathe on a building site.
I'm Norma Snockers, and I've been sticking to the shade where it's cooler. Now let's get to these headlines before my 99 melts. I got one with 2 flakes.
Security system strands security specialist securing security system.
PF produces producer for production.
All the latest on Too Hot, Too Messy.
Sore-throated scientist sentenced to silence.
Axwing report on the state of the war.
Wotherspoon rescued from winged rascal.
What's up? And what's down in Hutton space with our BGS update?
There was a minor panic in the control room this week after the station's automated gun platforms, spread in a perimeter around the orbital, inexplicably fell offline. Hutton security chiefs dispatched a waiting Viper patrol craft for some quick EVA out to the platforms to discover the source of the problem, and patrols were stepped up in case it was a precursor to an invasion or a scurrilous hack on security systems at the orbital. Investigations determined that the little automated laser platforms had decided they needed a patch, contacted the manufacturer's servers, and performed an upgrade and reboot. Which wasn't a feature anybody realised they'd had. To be fair, the turrets spend most of their time defending passing traffic from drifting canisters of gin and mugs, the byproduct of Hutton truckers not remembering to do their teabagging outside the litter-free zone around the station. Other than that, and the annual "oops, there's an asteroid heading this way," The guns haven't been fired in anger since the original mug run, defending traders bringing scrap to the orbital from passing pirates. However, the floating firing platforms decided all on their own that they were due a patch. The only problem was that it was delivered not from the orbital nearby, but via a long-range data squares from the manufacturer, relayed via the nav beacon at Alpha Centauri A, which meant that the reboot took a little over 2 hours. Then it crashed. Then it didn't auto-recovery, followed by sitting at an "Are you sure?" screen. With no one sitting at the consoles, which would be a very lonely existence, the security for Patrol Viper pilot was able to EVA over to the platform, blow the dust off the keyboard, someone had forgotten to put it under a little plastic sheet, and push Y. At which point the platform rebooted, detected an unpiloted Viper drifting in front of it, marked it as a shipping hazard, and vaporised it. The pilot has called for assistance and in the meantime is helping himself to the emergency supplies cupboard full of tinned hot dogs and beans, warmed by a few blasts from his aphelion.
With radio silence from the Pilots Federation over recent weeks, and the news broken by this very station that the producer was A. suffering from mods, B. having a nap, and C. had been kidnapped, we are happy to report that normal service has now been resumed, and he's been sipping hot honey and lemon from a borrowed Hutton mug, suitably sanitised, followed by a few cups of coffee and a pint of stimulants, and of course, escaped his captors relatively unharmed. There were concerns that his button-mashing finger had sustained an injury, but through swift application of a dose of there from Nurse Wyeth, a sticky plaster, and it being surgically removed and replaced by a cyborg one, it has been confirmed that he's back in the hot seat and broadcasting the emulation station pastiche from our very own show that is Frameshift Live from Shinrarta. We're monitoring this situation closely, and if his new widget digit does a good job, we might consider applying the same upgrade to our very own technical team. In unrelated news, Commander Flossy has taken delivery of a new set of pruning shears, a pocket cauterizer, and a Lego Technics set in recent days.
Too Hot, Too Messy has now been going for an astonishing 25 weeks, and this week we passed the utterly arbitrary but notable milestone of 50,000 mug deliveries. It has been another modest week with average deliveries below 1,300 for 4 weeks in a row. Haven't you lot shot enough flower people yet? Only one new commander joined the effort this week, taking the number to 277 participants. Hutton pilots have delivered over 22,000 mugs and gin, which is less than half the total, but which is good, and thanks go to all the other squadrons taking part. The Winged Hussars are still in second with almost 2,500 muggings, and the Buckyball Racing Club are in third, having pushed through the 2,000 mark to the week. The Paladins are fourth, the Undead are in fifth, and the Burpit are sixth. And the last squadron to have collectively delivered more than 1,000 Hutton mugs and Centauri Megagin. It'll come as no surprise that the guy in the moth-eaten green combat sweater and the hairy top lip is leading the deliveries table, and this week he passed the 5,000 mug mark. Some say that he wears Buzz Aldrin's flight suit, including the thermal long johns. Waller81 is second with over 4,400, ahead of Nem in third with 3,400. Shade Blackwood has moved into fourth with almost 2,000, ahead of Infinite Dreamer in fifth with 1,800. No new commanders have joined the 1,000 club this week, the membership still numbering 8. Of course, we know all this because it's tracked by the marvel that is the Hutton Helper and updated live on the Too Hot, Too Messy event page at hot.forthemug.com/hotmess2. Also, the Helper is now fully updated and supports both vanilla and chocolate chip versions of the game, so however you play, your Hutton Rares contribution will be recognised automatically. Apart from the mere glory alone, there is additional incentive in the form of a chance to win a real-world Velcro-free mods-prevented Hutton mug. Any commander that delivers 10 mugs and gin in the coming week will be entered into next week's draw to win a real Hutton mug. Unless, of course, you already have one, in which case you'll already have been immunised against mods. 23 lucky commanders have accomplished this so far, and you can see a little golden mug next to their names in the top commanders table. And keep listening for this week's winner to be announced in the banter bit after the news. Yes, you in the chat there. If you had delivered 10 mugs and tin in a week, in every week since the start, you'd have racked up 250 liveries next to your commander name. And if you haven't, why not? In order to join in the fun, you'll need to sign up by downloading the Hutton Helper from hot.forthemug.com/download, and then your mug and tin deliveries will be automatically registered for you by Entarius's genetically altered multi-flavoured bionic hamsters.
The medical wing at the Orbital has been busy this week, as HS 5060 had to make an unscheduled visit to Nurse Wyeth. Not for the rather obvious problem of, got blown up by a Thargoid, got green go on me, oh, it stings, get it off, but instead as a result of last week's radio broadcast. An unintended consequence of the Thargoid conflict on renowned war reporters, the strain on their vocal cords of having to read out enormous lists of system names, the roll of honour and of the fallen, and working out whether things written in capital letters are acronyms, initialisms, or just emphasis, were just too much. He was prescribed a week's voice rest, with the only sound he was allowed to make being via a digital voice emulation station. That didn't stop Atris though, as in an effort to assist the ongoing war, he resurrected the Hackswing briefing channel on Hutton's Discord comms channel, mainly as people kept stealing the really big pinned list he'd stuck to the Hackswing office doors and using it for paper darts from the top of the concourse. He's feeling a lot better, but out of an overabundance of caution, he's been asked whether he can give it a rest this week. For clarity's sake, we mean his voice, not the report, nor the long list. So, with the aid of Hollow Atris and his digital replacement vocal cords, here's Atris.
Good evening, trackers! HS 5060 reporting in with this week's update from the Thargoid War. It's been a good week overall for humanity, with victories seen once again across the multiple maelstroms. But we've still got a long way to go to save humanity from the insectoid threats. Victories well achieved in HIP 20527, hit 20492, hit 2422. Neates, that must be a hip replacement. And Vukurbay in the Indra. Oya Hadad and Tanayas maelstroms respectively. For our brave pilots in Hexwing, we saw victories in 3 systems. Near the Kokija maelstrom, Chibis and Code 285 sector AFE B13-5 were saved from Thargoid invasion. Hooray! Our third victory was the retaking of HIP, oh for God's sake, 38285 from the Thargoids, which is the first human-populated system to be retaken from Thargoid control. This has been a huge achievement and was only possible with the help of the broader galactic community, and Hexwing is proud to have fought alongside them to bring us the greatest this great moment. Cake for everyone! Buy your own cake. Hexwing would like to honour Congressius Tenebrous for bringing together the so many squadrons to fight off the invaders, and they in turn have invited the sucker to their sector of the bubble for mugging, so we can further fortify the sector from mods and Thargoids. I would also like to honour several Hexwing pilots for their efforts over the last week. Oh my god. Commanders Talian Diblint, Miggles, 314159, sounds like a right pie, have distinguished themselves with 453, 231 and 186 Thargoids killed respectively. While Commanders It's Strange, Groove Champion, quite the dancer, and an amazing Diamante-studded platform shoes, and Quasmere Delafonte have transported 1,561, 572 and 495 civilians to safety. Your hard work is an inspiration to us all. They're ever so nice, that lot, aren't they? Hexmen will remain near the Corky Joe milestone this week to help delivering victories to the many squadrons that call their sector home. Your orders for this week, Hexmen, will be to defend, the Surin Bin, Tudela Prospect and Spinrad Hub. I went there once for the fitness class, but my thighs are still aching. And 2 planetary bases that have been attacked, so combat pilots will be needed to defend them from invading Thargoids, while evac pilots will be needed to transport civilians to safety. Emergency supplies can be delivered to Spielberg Ring and 2 other orbital outposts to help the local system authorities to repel the invasion. Let's get out there and keep showing them that trackers are forced to be reckoned with. Right. For the bug!
Messages have been sent to the Galnet News outside broadcasts van over the last few days concerned for the welfare of broadcaster, anti-Xeno pirate, photographer, train spotter and philosopher Commander Wotherspoon, after there were rumours that a feral robot parrot had locked him in a broom cupboard and started feeding Beetlejuice strange messages via the teleprompter. Authorities were tipped off when his usual incisive, acerbic and carefully crafted style appeared to have been replaced by information that was broadcast only moments before by the Hutton Orbital news team, just without the grammatical errors, alliteration and wild speculation that normally accompanied just things. Oh, and it referred to the galaxy as a game, and we know that's not true. Sure enough, the red-eyed Norwegian blue was found sitting and pecking away at Wotherspoon's keyboard again this week, at which point it panicked, flew into its cage and self-destructed. A small puff of magic blue smoke that normally accompanies the demise of motherboards and high-end graphics cards that have had enough with drawing little planets escaped its beak. It let out an awkward "Ogh!", swung upside down on its perch, and moved no more. Commander Wotherspoon was rescued from the cupboard, none the worse for wear. He had a pocket copy of Bradshaw to keep him company, and will be reprising his role as the galaxy's most accurate and original digester of what's been going on this week, in time for Beetlejuice to put down her cranes and do the necessary. He's busting to use the facilities though after a week's incarceration, and stated that he might keep this week's content short as a result. What became of the parrot? We understand it appeared at a local thrift store where the proprietor is attempting to sell it whilst performing a classic comedy sketch.
You'll be pleased to hear that normal service has been returned to the BGS broadcast cupboard this week after last week's, report. 5 systems are getting themselves noticed for the wrong reasons. You Know Where has found its rightful place, and there is no war in Havoc. More on those stories coming up. Ross 671 has put Barnard Star to the bottom spot this week by 2 points on just 33%. A civil war is just starting to tie up a fifth of system influence, but it's still worth working the system for Hutton. Barnard Star is quiet for the moment on 35, so truckers should take advantage of this before the inevitable squabbling starts to lock up influence in a day or two. On 37, George's Pants have dropped to within a couple of points of Barnard's Star, and it's about to have a quarter of its influence tied up in a civil war. Less than 10% of influence is up for grabs in Wolf 25, as two wars have the system gridlocked on 37. Last of the delinquents is our key system of Epsilon Indi on 39%, which has seen an outbreak amongst its 4 billion population, shipping meds to the large pads to relieve the situation. Wolf 1481 is in need of water purifiers and power generators, and as an infrastructure failure has knocked out systems across the system, but as it's on 65%, there's no need to hurry. At the overachieving end of the Hutton systems table, we have 5 systems above 60%, and the hag hole has been expanding so much recently you could park a fleet carrier in there. Is Snuggles ever going to get his late Christmas present? Or are all the couriers on strike? Priorities this week are, if you want to chuck something, boost Ross 671, Barnard's Star, and try to lift up George's Pants. Ship meds into Epsilon Indi.
I think we did really well there.
Who did?
Seamless.
All of us.
Somebody did.
It was very seamless.
No, it was terrible. There were no scenes.
Yeah. You can't fake them either, because if you try to fake
Yeah,
them and put some in, they'll know.
Yeah.
I was going to say they're a clever lot of a bunch, and then I looked at the comments and the stream chat, and I thought, no.
Yeah. Are they... Anyway. How is it?
Anyway.
Did anyone see the Frontier live stream?
I did.
Not me.
Ooh.
No, sadly not. So what happened?
I didn't
What
either.
happened?
Well, we rely on chicks to tell us everything about it.
Yeah, carry on.
Carry on there, man. It's like we're almost in February. It feels like Valentine's Day is around the corner, and Frontier have had their first live stream of 3309.
Woo!
So I don't know whether does Jim. You haven't got the pictures, Jim.
What pictures?
Oh, the ones in the margin there in green in the script.
Oh, didn't even know there were any pictures.
Well, anyway.
Well, they're out now.
Seamless.
So live,
Yeah,
live.
seamless.
There you go.
Seamless.
So live stream. It's the 24th. Wow! If the by a week, I can't work it out. Too many gins. Hosted by Arf and Sally, and producer Adam, as you heard earlier on in the news, is back. I couldn't quite figure out. Arf was wearing an Odyssey t-shirt, which told me that Frontier's offices are reasonably well heated. But he was also wearing a woolly hat indoors, and I was confused.
Doesn't have any hair.
Well, I know, but surely by now he's used to his head being cold. Maybe it was
Is he?
a fashion statement. Anyway, I don't know. I was confused by the whole thing. There were no mugs, nothing on the table this time. No,
What?
no Buckyball clubs, no Hutton mugs, no mugs of any description.
New year, new table, new start.
Well, unless somebody
Fresh mods.
pinched them over
Fresh
Christmas.
mods.
As if those who pay attention to these things, if you look in your what's it called, your inventory screen in Twitch, if you've been watching since the start of the show, where are we 43% of an hour. So watching or listen, well, you could be watching, you could be playing the game.
Paying attention.
Having Twitch on at the moment, you'll be 43% through the first hour. For me, that's an Anaconda Blizzard skin. So it's the Winter Blizzard skins, and it's the green one for the Anaconda. And if you carry on watching all the way through the green room, you'll probably get the Asp X Blizzard skin as well, the green one. The blue ones, again, Blizzard Ice, finished today. So we haven't got no live. So this will be the last chance, but you
Were
can.
they blue? I thought they were purple.
Oh, I thought it was blue.
Blue.
It was blue. You need to sort your monitor out, Amelia.
The other
there. I
things
think
are
you need to
purple.
have a
But,
fiddle.
they're all the usual crap. They are.
I think there were some purple ones, weren't there? Maybe at the start of December.
Yeah,
But
But
these
I think
green
that-
ones, if you
Yeah.
tune into any of the other elite Twitch partners, you can still get them up to, when's the 31st? 5 days. No, it must be what, Monday, Tuesday. So
Tuesday.
if you don't manage to get the green ass skin by the end of our stream, if you tune into somebody else in the next 5 days, you should be able to finish that one off. And then they'll have a whole, presumably they'll go to, is it still winter or winter stuff? They didn't actually say, but they will start again in February for the next 28
I think February
day
still
campaign.
counts as winter, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In March, you start doing spring stuff.
Yeah. Because the autumn ones were all the leafy ones, weren't they? Some of those are quite
Yeah.
good. But anyway, it's free stuff. And all you have to do is tune in.
And just for you chicks, I put the images in.
Excellent. Is there a picture of Sally? And there's, I mean, t-shirt and a woolly hat indoors. I mean, what's that about? Anyway, I digress. A bit of game news. So there will be a small update on Monday. Patch notes have yet to be released, and also details of when the servers will be down, how big the download is, and all that kind of stuff. And it'll be update 14.02, so that'll be Monday. And then the next big update, update 15, will be in April. Now, they did say there was going to be some, and it's spelled cool, as in Tom Kuehl here, but it includes some cool stuff.
Who's Tom Kuehl?
He's one of the senior designers on. He often appears on the live stream. He was on the Christmas live stream. I don't know whether you saw that.
Oh, okay.
No. But Tom's one of the guys who does a lot of fun stuff and a lot of the clever stuff that goes into the game.
A lot of the cool stuff.
Kuehl. So you'll often see stations Kuehl outpost or something like that on if you do any surface, if you ever go to surfaces.
Yeah.
In fact, most of the designers have got stations named after them. I mean, I think Tom's got like 200 named after him. So that's update 15 in April, and update 16 will be, I think they said November previously, but they just said it's going to be later in the year. Anyway, it's months away, so you need to worry about that. And we've got 15 coming up. And April's not that far away.
No,
not far at all.
February's only a short month, isn't it? A sharp month, and maybe one of those as well. But
It's a spiky one.
month. Yeah.
So Sally raised an interesting question about exploration. Like, she asked the question: will we still be around when 1% of the galaxy is explored? Because at the moment, according to Frontier, there's only, I've lost the number now. Oh, there it is. 0.059% of the galaxy is currently explored. So you can see the screen there. So
It has to be more than that.
why? Well,
No.
not according to Frontier, and they would know.
That's 236 million systems that have been explored.
Yeah, but there's 400 billion systems.
It just doesn't sound like much.
So if there were, when it gets to 1%, there'll be 40 billion systems. 4 billion systems. And 236 million is a small fraction of 4 billion. So we've still got a long way to go.
So why is it I only ever go to the explored systems, ones that people have been in before?
Because you're going on.
You probably at the...
I pick a seemingly random direction.
No, I know, but everybody else does that. So
Yeah.
you've got to get above the plane or below the plane significantly. A couple of
Yeah, but
hundred
I
light
mean,
years.
What are the chances of, picking the same random direction?
Well, if you're fairly close to the bubble, or fairly close to the line between the bubble and Colonia, or fairly close to the line between, I can't even say Colonia now, Colonia and Beagle Point, or fairly close to the line between the bubble and Star 1, then you'll find that everybody else has already been there. Same with all of the paths directly to and from most of the pretty nebula that you can see from within the bubble. And it doesn't take much to actually incorporate all of that space as being mostly explored.
Yeah. If you look at ED Astro, edastro.com, I think it is, they have a heat map which shows you where commanders have been, and you can see visually, there's a filled-in map of the galaxy, showing you exactly what Jim's just said, and you can see these sort of highways between all these points of interest in the galaxy.
What is that? Do we have a link?
ED Astro, yeah. If somebody can post it in the.
Got to find a browser that's not busy first.
Same thing on EDSN.
Yeah, but if on ED Astro, if you do go to
the
ED Astro,
Twitch
make
chat,
sure you don't zoom in on the rude pictures that people have drawn on the galaxy. Sort of just right of the middle and go up a little bit. Don't look there. I wouldn't look there. Just no further up than that.
The other thing that really skews the numbers is the red dwarfs and the brown dwarfs that nobody ever bothers going to. And they're most of the stars that are out there. So if you're actually looking for interesting systems, instead of 400 billion, it's probably more like 2 billion. And that figure would suddenly be over 1%. But that's including the boring systems that nobody ever goes to. Yeah. So, unfortunately, most of the galaxy is boring. And there's nothing to do in it. And the game's in maintenance mode, and we know it's not worth playing anymore. Oh, wait, no, hang on, that's a different game. Sorry, I thought I was on live radio for a second then.
So just as an example of that, I mean, the 60 closest, I'm not talking about in the game, but in reality, the 60 closest stars to the sun, 50 of them you can't see with the naked eye because they're brown dwarfs and red dwarfs, and they're just too dim to see. And as far as the game goes, stars like that are pretty useless because, I mean, I know you can fuel scoop from a red dwarf, but it's painful because you've got to get really close and you overheat very quickly. So it's easy. People just stick to, KGBF, OA type stars because they're much easier to and they're more likely to have Earth-likes and stuff like that. So that's what water wheels. That's what people are looking for.
Why is there like a black circle right next to the bubble?
Oh, it's a permit lock system.
Yeah, but that's a lot of systems. That's like loads and loads and loads of systems.
Yeah, you kind of have to get around that way to get past.
We don't. Well, it's Rags loud. Anyway, so all will be revealed at some point. I assume.
Yeah, I'm not always into that area.
I mentioned the other. Is that where the Gnosis went in there? I can't remember.
That's where the Gnosis wasn't allowed to go.
That's where the Gnosis didn't go.
Tried to go.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it's a bit of a sod that when you get stuck on the other side of it.
Yes.
You do have to. It's a bit of a weird one to get around.
It's a bit like what was it called, the Truman Show, where you sort of get to the edge and go doink doink, something here.
Oh, you don't want to start from here, mate. If you want to get there,
that's right. So, explorers, you need to get out. Well,
that still looks like a hell of a lot more than 0.59%.
Well, the maths is very simple.
I mean, that looks like loads of the galaxy has already been
lightly dusted.
It's got 400
loads of the galaxy
billion.
Has been traversed. Not so much it has
That's
been
4
mapped.
with 11 noughts.
And even 11's hard to count up to.
For some.
11.
Yeah, I can't see it.
Anyway.
Listen, I'll try it now.
Commander Exorcist featured in the live stream as well. Commander Exorcist makes a lot of very nice, I'm just pasting it into the chat, there's a lot of very nice exploration videos. And apparently it has a series called Out There, and season 5 is about to start in mid-February. And so they played the trailer for season 5. It's about 2.5 minutes long. It's quite short. So not now. Don't press it now. But save that for later. Or you can press it now if you want, or you can just search for it on YouTube. Some very nice visuals, sort of planetary stuff. Lots of ring planets, ring stars, stuff like that. It was very, very nice. And nice sort of cinematic music. It's nicely edited and put together. And then before Stellar Screenshots, which was the last thing they did, they had quite a long, not that it was overly long, it was, it's not a subject, it was about the Thargoid Wars. So they had young Darren, who's one of the senior designers on Elite at Frontier. talking about the Thargoid War. And I don't really have much interest in the Thargoid War. It's kind of, that's going on over there and blah, blah, blah. But it was really interesting. It prompted me to sort of interrogate Atus a little bit on Discord. If there was an idiot's guide to the Thargoid War that you could just look at from time to time and see how it's all going. So he put up this, and I've pinned it in the Discord channel on Discord if you want to take a look. DCOH or something. And it tells you the current state of the Thargoid War, how many systems, how we're doing, how the Thargoids are doing. So if you're not into shooting flower people, it's worth just a quick look, and you can keep going back to that link and see how we're doing. Humanity could do better, I think. Tharg has captured 606 systems, and if you think that's in 2 months, you're quickly doing the maths. Tharg is capturing 10 systems a day. I mean, not all of them. I think he did change it. He did clarify that they weren't all inhabited, and then he changed his mind and said, "Oh shit, yes, they are."
Yeah, so but to put that into context, though, that's 0.0000059% of the galaxy.
Yes, but he's talking about the bubble, and I can't remember the exact number. But it was like 20,000, just over 20,000 that humanity control, and Tharg has got 600 in 2 months. So in 6 years, just quickly doing the maths in my head, in 6 years, Atus said, "Oh, we'll all run off to Colonia." I said, "Come on, it's never that desperate. Just go off to Star One or somewhere." But interesting. And what Darren was talking about was how they look at the war and they look at the data and they look at the behaviours, so they can tweak how sort of not, I would say aggressive, I suppose it is aggressive, but how effective Thargoids are or how effective pilots are, and tune it to match or to reflect player reaction, which I think was all very interesting. It's it's sort of 20 minutes, half an hour of stuff. But if you're into shooting the flower people, it's well worth a watch.
I shall have to catch the VOD of that.
Yeah, it was good. And that was the live stream. There was other stuff as well, but they were the highlights.
Well, it's good to have them back.
Yeah, 2 weeks next one. They're going back to their regular bi-weekly routine. Fortnightly. That means every 2 weeks for the night shift.
Good. So
I want to go exploring now.
Well, if you head off that way, no, a little bit further to the left. Yeah, that's it. And now up a bit. Yeah, head over that way, and you might find something that nobody's seen before.
Oh, okay.
You could head out to that rude diagram.
Which one? There's several.
Yes, there are.
You've looked, have you?
Yep.
Which one did you model for?
You could make your own. So say that again.
Which one did you model for?
The cat.
Did you see the two women pointing at the cat on the other side of the galaxy?
Yes.
Will I be
so
the
it
cat?
just prompts everybody to go out and do their own. And I don't mean an SRV in the dust. Who's going to talk about the next one?
Did you go for the full? I want to check first. When you were modelling for the cat, did you go for the full George Galloway? Would you like me to be the cat? Celebrity Big Brother many years ago. Jesus Christ, come on.
There you go. I don't want
Showing your age there, I think, mate.
Yeah, let's just move on.
Let's move on to Bloody Big Rocks instead.
Space
BBRs.
Space news.
Space.
Who wants to talk about Bloody Big Rock?
Actual space news that's relevant to us.
Right now.
Well,
Go
in
on,
about
Mia,
2 hours' time.
You do this best.
Okay. Is around midnight, what, tonight?
Yeah.
Jings, there is a BBR or Big Bloody Rock around midnight, 2,200 miles from the Earth. Let's have a wee look at this. I haven't read about this yet.
The link's in the chat, so if you want to open
it up. It's below geostationary orbit, so it's going to be closer than many of our satellites are.
Yeah, it shows you where the satellites are and everything. That is a bit scary.
So a minute, is that midnight For the UK, is that midnight for the UK?
Midnight
Yeah,
UK,
midnight
so
GMT. Yeah.
Game time.
GMT, not GNT.
Game time.
Or you just look up and you'll see a shooting star or something.
No,
We won't
you won't
be low
see
enough
anything.
in the
It's,
atmosphere.
No,
You'd need a telescope and the very accurate pointy thing for it.
Plus
you're
it's
really-
Britain,
if you're-
it needs to not be cloudy.
Well, yeah, you got no chance of that.
This thing's closest approach is over South America, so the southern tip of South America.
So for the metrics among us, that's 3,600 kilometres, and for the Imperials, that's 2,200 miles.
So
That is pretty close.
So it's 10 times as high as, say, something like the International Space Station, but it's 1/10 of the distance that the GPS satellites orbit.
Yep.
So it's right in amongst it.
Oh, aye.
Yeah. The really scary thing, though, this was discovered less than a week ago, I think.
Yeah.
It's quite small.
I'm just looking to see how big
it's-
they're saying it is.
It's
You wouldn't want it on your toe.
5 to 8 meters across, so size of a
Okay.
small minibus sort of size, so a big bugger.
Make a hell of a boom if it did hit.
Yeah, that's all it'll do.
Yeah.
It's smaller than the one that burst over Chelyabinsk. Yeah, can't even say it. Chelyabinsk a couple of years back. So it's smaller than that one. But the really scary thing is that rocks in this sort of size range, so the 5 to 50 meter ones, we've actually discovered an estimated 0.6% of them.
How do
Which
we
means-
know if you don't know how many there are?
Guesstimation based on how many we see in certain areas of
Is
the
that
sky.
Is that number from Frontier?
No, they'd put it 10 times lower if it was from Frontier.
Yeah, it's worse than that. Bruce Willis has retired for filmmaking. We can't even send him up.
I mean, judging from the amount they estimate has been discovered in the galaxy, then it would be a hell of a lot lower than 10 times as well.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of these things out there that are alarmingly close to Earth periodically.
But we know something that small is pretty likely to fracture and burn up, and then be small enough to burn up in the atmosphere.
Well,
very
what-
little of it will get to the surface.
Yeah, but
What
when
they're saying it's not going to hit the surface anyway. What they're saying is its encounter with Earth will affect its gravity, but it'll pull it out. It'll pull it away from there, so it'll end up being about halfway between Earth and Mars in its next orbit.
yeah, but it's still going to pass Earth's orbit, so that's it. Just means it does it
Yeah,
less
yeah.
often,
Just think in 600 years, Marco Inaros will be claiming responsibility.
probably. But the really scary thing is if you go up to the next size category, the sort of 150 meter range asteroids, the ones that would actually leave a crater the size of a small town if they hit. We've still only discovered approximately 40% of those.
Yeah.
So if one of them cropped up with 3 days' notice, it would be brown trouser moments while they worked out the orbits.
But if you then go up to the 1,000 metres of the 1 kilometre across ones, right? You're only one of them, one in every 500,000 years. But we found 95% of those.
Oh, they're easy to find. They're big.
They're big.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, the next
And
size
if
up
you
from that,
go-
they think they found all 100% of them, all 4.
Yeah, all 4 of them.
But we only
And
need
if
to
you
have
look at
missed one
every-
for that to only be 80%. So
And if you go up the next
Yeah.
size from that, there's only like 9 of them.
Eight.
8 now because they demoted Pluto.
yeah, poor Pluto.
Yeah.
And we're one of them.
Well, I hope we don't hit ourselves.
No, we can't hit ourselves, surely.
No, that'd be really scary.
That would be scary. But yeah, there you are. So it goes from explosion in the sky could cause injuries, 1 to 2 kilometre crater, possible mass casualties, 10 kilometre crater, global devastation, 100 kilometre crater, mass extinctions.
Do you think the mainstream media will actually have a legitimate use for the word devastation or devastated then? Because
They'll just go
devastated a word that's been ruined for me now. If somebody misses the bus, they're devastated. If their coffee goes cold, they're devastated. Whereas no,
That's a strong word if someone's coffee goes cold.
Exactly, but
Yes.
people use it all the time. As if I was a bit miffed, or I was mildly annoyed, or
Yeah, or I was
But no, they're
slightly upset,
devastated.
or I was disappointed. Yeah, no, devastated.
devastated.
Now,
It's
if,
like
if,
a word literally to mean figuratively.
Yes.
Yes.
It
if you-
really
if you-
is annoying.
if you'd left your winning lottery ticket and you'd got the jackpot and that was left on the bus, that could be devastating if you missed the bus to pick it up.
That could devastate for you. It could be devastating.
Do you remember when?
The person who found it.
Do you remember like 10, 20 years ago when everything was awesome?
No, I don't remember anything being awesome 20 years ago.
Perhaps it is if you have a very low standard of all.
Didn't Lego make a song about that?
Did they?
Yes.
Awesome.
Everything is awesome.
Yeah, it's another word that's been ruined. We take words and we wear them out by applying them to everything.
Yeah.
So we make new words.
Why don't we just use the right words?
I'll get you a word that's ready for recycling. Just you hold on.
Speaking of words, have we incorporated last week's word of the week into this week's script?
No. Somebody's been slack.
Right.
No, it's too late now.
I just came back to hear the word slack. Let's have a look.
I'm locking the script.
Oh, you don't want to hear about Ninny Hammer then?
It's in Norway, isn't it?
Yeah. It just means a fool. Only a Ninny Hammer doesn't. What? Oh, only a Ninny Hammer doesn't vote. I can find a better one than that, I'm sure.
Only a Ninny Hammer doesn't use last week's word of the week in this week's script.
Is the percussionist warming up his drumsticks? Yeah, that one. Not his cymbals, his drumsticks. Are we ready for the?
Are we ready?
Right. Yeah.
Yes, we do have a winner.
No, just you. Hold on, just one more.
We've moved on.
None of you. All right, okay, yeah, I can go ahead with that.
Yeah, you see. This week's mug winner is Nim.
Yay!
Hey!
Way!
Well done, Nemb.
Yeah, you know what to do, I'm sure.
You nasty, evil-minded bitch. That's what NEM stands for.
So if you get in touch by emailing us at itookpart@huttonorbital.com and make sure you include some proof of who you are because we really need proof of who you are, Nemb.
Yeah. If you don't, you're getting nothing.
So what was that word again?
Nem.
No, Ninny
Hammer.
Ninny Hammer. Yeah, only a Ninny Hammer wouldn't. Yeah, only a Ninny Hammer wouldn't send proof.
So this week is the green room, everyone, which means you should all be heading into TeamSpeak as we speak. Only a Ninny Hammer would miss out.
Yeah.
No, not green room yet.
No, not yet, but we need to give people time to actually download the TeamSpeak client if they want to, and get it installed and get it set up and get it pointed at.
At the arrow, at the arrow Ninny Hammers, it's going to take them a while to get in there, isn't it?
Yep. And what's the site they have to put into TeamSpeak once they've downloaded it?
Is it ts.forthemug.com?
Yep. And that's not a website. That's a TeamSpeak
server.
website.
Yeah, that's a TeamSpeak site.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Carrier
I have
a landing pad.
Right. So, what do you call an anteater who's protecting something?
Jeff.
Well, Jeff, yeah, but Jeff has a job. He would be a guardfark. Ba-dum-tish! Yay! Aardvark! Aardvark!
Okay.
Aardvark!
Let's move on and never speak of that again. Only Flossy can save us with the CG News.
It's Flossy. It's Flossy. It's Flossy. It's Flossy. And the community goes.
Hello, Flossy here with this week's CG News. Last week's CGs, Deliver Resources for Experimental Weapon Stabilizer, was completed at 19:30 on Sunday, with 29,253 units collected. As Tier 1 was reached, the Class 3 Experimental Weapon Stabilizer should now be available at rescue megaships. The Class 5 experimental weapons stabilisers should be made available as megaships on the 2nd of February. As Tier 2 was also reached, the top 25% of participants should have received one Class 3 experimental weapon stabiliser today. As Tier 3 was reached, the top 50% of participants should have received one Class 3 experimental weapon stabiliser today, and the top 25% of participants should also receive one Class 5 experimental weapon stabiliser on the 2nd of February. All participant module rewards will be placed in storage at the Glorious Prospect. Protect Azimuth's Biotech Initiative deliveries. Finished at Tier 3 this morning with 47,607,204,958 credits earned. New CGs. As Kytrix posted on the forums, figures 4166746572 6E 6F 6F 6E 2061 6C 6C 20 2D 20 6E 6F 20 43 47 73 20 74 68 69 73 20 77 65 65 6B. And I'm sure a lot of you have probably already worked that out as being hexadecimal, and it translates as afternoon all, no CGs this week. Probably something to do with the update on Monday, I should think. Anyway, that's it for this week's CG News.
Flossy told you what to do.
And now we hand over to the Rabbi and Banter buns of news, waxing lyrical with stories from all over the galaxy. It's Beetlejuice and Witherspoon with the Galnet News Digest.
Galnet News Digest, 26th of January 3309. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, the scribbling senator rewrites history, and we round up the week's other main stories. Scribbling Senator Drew Wagar, who last year said farewell to Farewell Tours, has announced plans for a commercial release of his famous history books that were originally published as the Oolite Saga. But in order to protect the innocent, and possibly also for commercial reasons, the senator will change any names that other people might object to him using in stories. Thus, the rank elite will become elect. The Galactic Cooperative, or GalCop, becomes TradeCom. The Dark Wheel becomes Obsidian Ring, Thargoids become Swarmers, and the legendary planet Raxla becomes Enigma. The stories will include famous settings such as Brave Station, Tony's Rotating Graveyard, and Hutton Orbital. Renowned ship types such as the Bobra Mark III, the Middlewinder, and the Weimar Mark III. And the great powers, the Allons-y, the Fedora Nation, and the Umpire. Keep watching the Scribbling Senator's Gal Worldwide website for news of these 4 exciting new publications. In other news, the Swarmer invasion of the human-occupied balloon continues apace, with the 8 Swarmer whirlpools now surrounded by 500 Swarmer-controlled systems. The good news is that Azalea Biotech has today delivered the first of its anti-xenon weapon stabilizers, meaning that commandos will now be able to shoot swarmers with 5 experimental weapons at once. Rumours continue that the one-time head of Azalea Biotech, known as Deliverance, may still be alive. These rumours started when former test subject E3 set off on what she described as a mission to settle some unfinished business with Deliverance. The Swarm God cult megaships remain hidden, but there have been moves towards the re-establishment of the tri-superpower anti-swarm agency EGIT. The Emperor of the Umpire's niece, Princess Ashtray, has openly called for the Umpire to recognise the need to work together with the other superpowers and to back the re-establishment of EGIT under its former Director of Research, Professor Album Chesso. There's been no further word from Admiral Ague Stammer following the pardon he received last week from President Saddlery Knutson. However, he's believed to be masterminding the Fedora Nation's anti-swarm defence effort. And artificers, Professor Dismal Failing and Sheep Thank You, continue to work on the green uncodified mementos that may eventually provide us with a way to enter the swarm whirlpools and rid the balloon of these alien monstrosities once and for all. And that's this week's Gallant News. Left on, Commando, and don't forget to blaze your own snail.
And now to another Burns Night tradition. Is that rope burns or carpet burns? Anyway, with a face like a burst haggis, it's Mia Harkness with the Hutton Helper results.
Welcome to the Hutton Helper Results. The Hutton Helper Results are sponsored by the Hutton Helper, the only third-party resource to come with a free bag of neeps. This week we have the following events: the A Fond Kiss and Then We Sever Cup, the At the Druthy Tournament, the When Only Haggis Will Do Deja Vu Trophy, the Tam O'Shanter Don't Go Into the Churchyard Charity Shield, the Sending You Straight to the Burns Ward Spectacular, the Gonawa to Bite the Law Award. So, get off your hurdies, gather your brows like a gathering storm, and if you're coming through the rye, don't draggle your petticoats. The Hutton Helper results are: Cometborn jumped 22,000 light years to come first in distance travelled. Mustafa Beer sold 62,000 tonnes of cargo. Montgomery Python is this week's top mission runner with 830 mission points. Alex Zuno handed in 888,888,888 credits worth of bounties. Attic 2 handed in just over 1.6 billion credits of combat bonds. And Boobtron delivered 3,018 people to their various destinations. So, decals for Boobtron, Exhaler for exploration data handed in, and Dart Virtual for Ore Mined. Please email itookpart@huttonorbital.com and arrange to collect your Hutton decal kit, which this week consists of an overly complicated tartan bong, Holy Willie's Prayer, and a cutty sark. There have only been 3 Hutton runs in the last 7 days. They are Norbert Patternod, 1 hour 23 minutes and 48 seconds, Nemb, 1 hour 24 minutes and 31 seconds, and Artificial, that's Artificial, with 1 hour 25 minutes and 1 second. Anyway, there is a whole galaxy of stuff out there needing sugared, defrosted, exploded, launched, rung in, first footed, decked with boughs of holly, motivated, evacuated, unfriended, ejected, manhandled or woman-handled, smeared, deflected, irrigated, emphasised, sniffed, snuffled, flip-flopped, mistranslated to and from Spanish, chilled, mugged, ginned, wrapped up with a pretty bow, shipped, shot, rescued, having their immersion ruined, battered and deep-fried, repaired, destroyed, bought, sold, squeezed, inflated, burnt, frozen, liquidated, evaporated, smelled, licked, discombobulated, recombobulated, head-butted, rubbed, compressed, enveloped, strained, fermented, murderised with an S, interrobanged, upcycled, violently downcycled, disallowed, reallowed after consulting VAR, smelted, loved, adored, cherished and propagated, and you can earn yourself a very fetching Hutton decal for doing it. To get involved, you just have to go to hot.folderol.com and download or sign up for the spectacular Hutton Helper, available in 3 alluring formats. Let's face it, anything has to be better than getting caught spying on Nanny the Witch in her cutty sark. Anyway, that's it for this week. Back to Studio 5.
Thank you, Mia. And now we go over to Amelia for this week's Galnet Rares Digest.
Good evening. This is Amelia Hawke reporting for the Galnet Rares Digest. We try all the galaxy's rarest and most dangerous commodities, so you don't have to. Tonight we've taken the Rares Galnet sampling ship over to HIP 41181 for a truly spectacular experience. We've joined a team in the clouds of the terraformable ammonia world, over 500,000 light seconds away from the jump-in point. Our rare is sold at Adderson Station, but there are twin planets nearby, an Earth-like and a terraformable ammonia planet. Our food this week usually isn't found on the habitable world, but rather on its rather less habitable neighbour. It has seas and clouds and land masses, but with an atmosphere containing a huge amount of ammonia. It's just not suitable for human habitation, at least not yet. Amongst the swirling clouds, the HIP proto-squid can be found. Not a genetic relative of the giant squid of Earth. I mean, convergent evolution has delivered something that, to all intents and purposes, could be a close cousin. We're hovering 20,000 leagues above the sea, aboard a hunting vessel. Disturbingly, this thing isn't just protected against the corrosive atmosphere, but it's armoured and armed to the teeth. As we drift through the clouds, a call comes from the lookout, and we all turn to see our prey. Rising from the clouds is the stuff of nightmares. A leviathan with tentacles as long as an anaconda. A body as large as a cutter and eyes bigger than your starter sidewinder. The HIP proto-squid is enormous. It's not entirely smooth. The older squid often sport bearded growths, and what's more, it's groovy. Lines along its body are visible even from this distance. It inflates and deflates itself to rise or drop in the atmosphere. At the base of the tentacles, there's a beak that's more than capable of shearing whole vessels in two. And this one looks hungry. As the captain calls for a red alert, the harpoons swivel on their gimbals and the battle begins. At the end of it, humanity wins, but only just. We've caught one of these monsters and it's lashed to our hull, ready to be taken to a waiting Type 9 for processing. The squid are only ever caught the traditional way, by small crews brave enough to look them in their habitation dome-sized eyes. The squid isn't just dangerous when alive, enveloping ships and dragging them to their doom in the seas below. Everything about them is dangerous. Their excrement is riddled with ammonia, and as with all good fertilizers, it is highly explosive. Proto-squid droppings have caused the land masses on the planet to be pockmarked with craters. The average temperature on the planet is over 120 degrees Celsius, meaning that the squid itself is highly combustible and explosive. Energy weapons are banned, as is anything more dangerous than a harpoon. Once harvested, the hip squid is processed and swiftly served to waiting rare hunters. It's not cooked. That would be so dangerous. Instead, it's shredded and served as ceviche. Like its earthly cousin, it's slightly rubbery, takes some chewing, and the flavour is surprisingly delicate. Served with a slice of lemon and a little garlic butter, it's a delightful flavour. One mature squid is enough to feed whole villages. The waste products keep the farms of the nearby Earth-like fertilised for years. This rare isn't just dangerous, it's deadly. And the squid are hard to hunt and exceedingly rare. They are spacefaring and make their way to the Earth-like nearby to breed, spawning in the warm waters of the tropics before making their way back to the ammonia world. Space lanes are plagued by hungry immature proto-squid, who will as soon eat you and your ship as pass peacefully. The sight of these beasts is possibly more impressive than their flavour. They're gargantuan and terrifying. But for the gourmet, they're a welcome diversion from the more mundane foods in the galaxy. I'm Amelia Hawke, and I'm off to read some Jules Verne. There's a sincere chance that he might have visited other worlds before anyone else. And if he didn't, I'm hunting through his writings to see if there are, as of yet, more undiscovered wonders out there. I've nearly been eaten by a giant squid, so you don't have to.
Yeah,
You
that
don't
sounds
know.
scary.
Yeah.
It's very scary. It's very scary.
Yes. I looked at that picture and thought, oh my God, there's a giant dead penis on the beach and it's looking at me.
And that would be very scary.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that would be terrifying.
Especially if it blinked.
Yeah.
Spat at you.
Yeah. But yeah, giant squids coming up for the depth and trying to wrestle your ship. And no, I don't fancy
So-
that at all.
I'm really excited because, we have 44 Twitch viewers and we have a whopping 3 in our green room. It's going to be a wild night tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The rest of them are just shy, I think.
Yeah. More
Very,
presenters
very
than there are-
shy.
More presenters than there are green roomers.
Yep. But at least we get to talk to each other as well.
That's okay. Let's
That's
just
true.
mute the chicks.
Yeah, we're down to 4 now, so we only outnumber them 4-3.
Yeah, let's get closer.
If anyone cares to come to the green room, now's the time to do it.
Yeah.
Because we're about to head up there. And
Be advised, we will speak to you.
this only
We
happens
might want you to speak back.
this only happens once a month, so it's
Yeah.
it's like a rares. Oh, we've lost someone already.
Oh God. That's it.
You scared one
Did you-
off.
Don't say anything else. Just go.
I'm gonna shut up now.
No, it's Tricky Hickey, and they're back in the landing pad, so I think they may have had connection issues.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's a relief.
Oh, they're
Oh,
faking connection issues.
They're still in the landing pad, though, so...
I would love for one green room day for everyone to literally bombard it, and we have 50 people in there.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
And then we'll
Yeah,
be here at 3 a.m.
yeah, but worth it.
But it would be fun.
Oh, yeah, it'd be so worth it. Yeah. That would be good.
Well, looks
Anywho,
like we've
shall
got
we head up?
2 people now,
Yeah.
so yeah, let's head up. So green room feed goes in there, and Amelia goes in
User
there.
was moved out of your channel. User was moved out of your channel. User was moved out of your channel. Channel
Arius, you
switched.
better get the thing ready.
And here we are.
Oh yeah,
I've got it ready.
Volcarius's magic thing.
I've got it ready already.
Yeah.
I'll paste it into the green room chat. So do we have a tricky hickey? Maybe?
The team speak, and this is especially for Fish2193, is ts.forthemug.com. That's ts.forthemug.com. ts.forthemug.com. I missed out a dot there.
And then go to the room where we all are.
Yes.
Right, I've thrown the green speak thing, courtesy of Vulcarius himself, into
Thank
the
you,
chat.
Vulcarius.
You're welcome.
We all love your magic thing.
Here we go. Careful. So it's me, Vulcarius.
No, it's
God,
Amelia.
no. Oh,
have we got another one? Oh, no. Got him.
No.
It's like the worst one.
What's he do? Who let him in? I thought he was banned from this server.
Right, well, I'll speak to him. No, I can't speak to him. Somebody else speak to him.
Hello.
Vulcarius needs to wave his magic thing around again.
Oh, it changes all the things if you do that. No, it's terrible.
Still tricky to
Bang it
come,
on the
is it?
table or something.
Generate. Who do we get this time? Oh, good news, Amelia. You still get to start. But this time, you get to start by talking to Psycho Cow.
All right. Hey, Cow, how are you?
Hello.
Hello. I've not spoken to you in so long. It's literally been years.
Yeah, well, your luck's run out.
User joined your channel.
We've got more people coming in.
Literally that very hot and sweaty LaveCon.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm the one where I caught COVID mods.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool mods.
Great.
COVID con.
That's it. Yeah. No, it wasn't. Actually, it was. I think it was worth it though. I don't know.
It was.
Didn't suffer too much, but yeah, it was one of those ones where meeting people and seeing people, touching real people.
The suffering
Almost
was
still
completely
not
worth it.
apparently.
It was such a good
Bad
event.
touch.
Still illegal, but still, it was worth it.
But how are you? Did you end up catching mods?
No, I've actually been fairly mod free. I had it before the LaveCon, so I think I was quite especially mod immune, and I would 50 mugs in my suitcase, so there was no chance of me getting
You had
mods.
protection.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
2 mugs a day. That's all you need.
So how have you been? How's the broadcasting going? Are you still doing your pub quiz?
Yeah, pub quiz every Friday night, and then some Wreckfest carry on, which is what I'm currently doing today. But I've turned away from my life of crime, stealing tritium, and have done some mission running. So been behaving myself for once. One day in a week.
Just one day of the week.
Yeah. Crime pays too well.
And how have
That's
you
the
been?
point.
How have you been yourself?
Oh, fine. I still haven't managed to find out if my house exists yet. That's still an ongoing saga.
Your house exists?
Yeah, it's some legal paperwork. Apparently, my house doesn't exist yet.
That sounds complicated.
Existed. I've been living in it for 8 years, but it doesn't exist.
God.
And the solicitors are trying to solve this problem and this riddle, but it's taken a bit longer. So I'm not sure where I live.
If it doesn't
I thought it was
exist,
Scotland.
if it doesn't exist, does that still mean you have to pay like tax and all that?
Yeah, well, you see, the funny thing is, there's this little exceptions that they managed to make. If you want to do anything with that property, it doesn't exist. But if they want to, it very much does exist. And I think that's because they attach all debts and sort of taxes to your ass.
It's funny how that works
therefore,
out.
Yeah, apparently my ass does exist. It very much exists. And on some days it blocks the moon.
So we've established that your ass exists and it's very big, but your house doesn't.
That's it. Yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
Could it be that your house will only exist once the bathroom's finished?
Oh no, so you had to. You just had to.
Oh, I was just going to say, is it possible that they can't see your house because of your arse?
No, I've thought about that as well. So it could be.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I think it's just one of those concerns, and I think the solicitors are looking into that, along with what happened to my bathroom. But as yet, the investigation is still underway, so I will report the findings as soon as they work that one out. Although it's believed that despite having multiple workmen that have passed away during the attempting of finishing my bathroom. Oh, speaking about bathrooms, I've learnt a valuable lesson that I want to impart to all truckers out there.
Yes.
You know, when you come in from a cold day's flying and trading, and the first thing you want to do is nip to the loo and just, let go the day's toxins, and you've got your comm device with you. Just don't take your comm device in. I accidentally called a Canadian whilst dropping trousers. And I think the worst part about it was a FaceTime. And
When you say FaceTime,
yeah.
Well, yeah, I could see his face.
Did he see the whole of the moon?
I'm not entirely sure. He did say that he took an awful lot of screenshots, but the sort of main problem was there was that kind of concerning voice saying that I couldn't work it. Where's that voice coming from? What are you doing? What's this voice? What's this saying? What are you doing? And then I sit down and see this very concerned face of a Canadian who clearly had seen things.
No Canadian should ever see.
So just don't take your comm devices with you into the bathroom. Just leave them
outside. Just have some alone time. Have some alone time in there.
I'm not sure. It can't be called butt dialing because it wasn't in my pocket. So I'm not quite sure what we're going to call it. A dick dial to maybe.
You're very special, aren't you?
Well, that's what he said.
Yes.
it's pretty talented as well if it was on the floor at the time.
Well, you see, this is the thing. I now have some new sobering sounds to add to the list. The late night, just gone to the bathroom naked, click and sound of a door locking means that you're in a hotel, and that wasn't the bathroom. That sound, that's quite sobering. And now I've got the disembodied voice of a Canadian kind of shrieking, "What are you doing?"
What is that? What is that? Are you cooking sausages?
No, the hissing noise when you try to flush means that was the trouser press.
Yeah.
They definitely don't use that at the same time either.
I had a whole list of questions, and I cannot remember a single one of them now.
Do you know what? Serves him right for taking his shirt off in the van.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, you've never seen the internals of a van steam up like that, and you think, what the hell's going on? Have we gone through a very thick fog? No, Terence taking his top off again.
Yes.
Yeah, to be fair, it was 40-odd degrees in the van at the time, so...
Definitely, it was sweaty and hot. Yeah, let's hope that the next time we all meet up, it's not quite as mental.
Yeah, hopefully.
When is the next meet-up?
Maybe.
Good question. No idea. Jet, there is no answers at this point. Yeah. Yes, there's going to be I think I think it might well be a year of lots of local meets, and then we'll see what the sort of usual organisers do. I've got a bit of an issue with not owning a house or not having a house that exists, which needs to be resolved. And so I'm kind of a bit unavailable to go to anything this year, apart from maybe a nice little local Glasgow meet, which should be amazing.
We could all come to your known house and have a party there.
Well, I'd have to give you the known address, and then you'd not turn up.
I've got your known address.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. You've not been.
I think I'm going to have to arrange something at Mongoose for the truckers, like an open gaming night or something.
Oh.
That's I think we should be recommending is that if you are one of those people that's always in the part of the country that doesn't have a meetup, then it is time for you to go and just look at your local area, find a little. We called them pizza meets because it was just find a pizza place. Everyone likes pizza. Most people like pizza, and you just pick a date, pick a time, go have pizza, and then if people turn up to join you, you've got a pizza meet, and if they don't, you've got a pizza. It's a win-win situation, and once you've got that small group of people, and you can do it again and again and again, that's your core meetup group, and those are the guys that you can create events with. And that's how it starts. It's really, really straightforward. You start with a pizza meet. It just takes one person to book it on that night. Ask anyone who wants to come along, book it, and then that's unfortunately how we got lumbered with Mia.
Yay!
And me. My first event was a pizza meet as well.
Right, okay. Well, I said we've moved on to meets and all kinds of other meat, but that's how it starts. So start with something really simple that's got very low risk. If you are one of those people that struggles with anxiety and social anxiety, then it's a very low risk area where you're just going out for that initial, just going out for dinner, and if people turn up, they turn up, and you can have a chat and have a laugh, and it's very, very easy and safe. And then go home, and then if you make friends, that's the best bit about it, because most truckers out there are pretty decent folk.
And tiny toilets. It's not a meet without tiny toilets.
Without the cubicles.
Yeah. Please, if you do book a meet, can you make sure that all of your guests are able to enter the bathroom without having to have someone hold one door open, hold their trousers whilst they reverse into the cubicle?
I never even noticed.
I take it you were speaking hypothetically here.
No.
Can you also make sure that if the next one that you arrange, that you don't have a door that opens into the restaurant that exposes the people using urinals to the entirety of the guests?
And don't phone Canadians when you're in there.
Yeah, definitely not.
Americans fine, Canadians no.
Oh God, no. They're the worst. And all the best to Taryn as well. I hope you are feeling better. And obviously I'm talking about from the trauma. But hopefully you're feeling better soon.
I think I saw Facebook photos of what he's going through at the moment.
Oh,
it's
God,
quite drastic.
Hands up, who's not feeling well?
Yeah, I'm going to stay off Facebook for a few days until that clears.
Yes.
But we do hope you're feeling better.
I don't.
All right, everyone but Mia hopes you're feeling better.
And Dylan.
What are we talking about?
Everyone but Mia and Dylan hopes you're feeling better.
Who's feeling better?
Taryn.
I didn't hear. Oh, right, yeah.
He's had a significant issue with his shall we just say his sexual partner?
Well, his sexual parts more than anything.
His sexual partner is his right arm, and
oh yes, I've seen the pictures. Yes, yeah. Mm.
So wish you a speedy recovery. Yeah, so.
Oh, definitely.
He hasn't been able
Keep
to
your
use the
shirt
oxidometer for weeks.
So, Cow, as you know, it is tradition that if you have more to say, you should say it. If not, are you foring the mug?
To say.
Oh, I will give you all a nice big for the mug.
For the mug!
For the mug! Next up, we have Mia to retired Navy IT-1.
Commander. Retired Navy IT-1. Okay. Retired Navy IT-1. I see you there at the bottom. How are you doing?
I am doing well, and of course, I'm always hiding at the back, down at the bottom, where I should
be. You haven't been dick dialed by any Scottish people this week, have you?
Nope. I've been lucky. Like I said, I've been hiding.
Okay, well, send me your number. I'll see what I can do.
I was going to say,
yeah.
Didn't we establish that to do it to Americans was okay?
Yeah.
Just not Canadians.
Not Canadians, though. Yeah, Canadians are upset. Americans half expect it. It's fine.
Terrible. That's all it is. Just got to pick on somebody, huh?
Got to pick on somebody. Anyway, what have you been up to this week?
Working on my Imperial rank, which hasn't been going well.
Oh dear.
Tried to take on Thargoids, and that didn't go well.
Oh dear.
No, I just been running a little bit of cargo back and forth, a little bit exploring, just not doing
Nice.
anything real big, just
Yeah,
doing.
but yeah, keeping in touch. Yeah, keeping in touch with the basics. Bit of cargo running, bit of exploration. It's all good.
Yep, sat there and did a little bit of ground war there back there in Acadia. I sat there and made sure we didn't lose the Valdez. Got to keep at
can
least one small planetary base somewhere.
Yeah. Are you one of these people that's good at kind of ground combat then?
Oh, I'm not good at ground combat. I mean,
Oh, okay, but
I sometimes survive.
Oh, awesome. That's good. That's good. That's better than me.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
haven't
just
dared get into that yet.
It's just I've been seeing, everybody going with, how to do the cold orbit and stuff, so to be able to take
Yeah.
on Thargoids and keep the heat signature down load and what the ultimate builds are. And I'm going, okay, I need mats. So
Yes,
yeah,
so
that's
many
one thing
mats.
I'm thinking about doing too, just doing a mat grind.
Well, what I do with that kind of thing is if I'm looking for materials and stuff, I will generally go for a power restore on a base, and and just take every piece of kit I can get my hands on.
Are you saying you would go and open up them locked lockers?
Oh yeah.
Oh, why?
I don't open them up. I cut them open. I haven't got time to remember passcodes.
Yeah, well, you use the e-brake.
Yeah. Oh no! You just use a cutting torch. It's fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah,
just
but
looks
you
like
can't
scavengers did it.
you can't use a cutting torch on the ones that are outside though.
Oh no, not on the boxes. No, you have to use e-breaches in the boxes or get the number. But for the lockers and things like that, yeah, you just cut it.
Yeah, well, my problem is the last base that I went to. I sat there and I landed, and I had 3 groups of scavengers come after me. And every time I went to go cut open a locker, as I was cutting it open, I got shot in the back. I mean, it's terrible how they acted.
What you need to do there is hide in the power building or in the command center and get them to come to you. So you step outside, switch a torch on or something, and they go, "There he is there!" And then you run inside at the doors and you hide. And as they get closer, you just shoot them at the doors and let the bodies pile up.
Well, the thing that really bothered me was that I'd landed and I knew the scavengers were there. I got inside my SRV. I sent my ship away, drove into the base, killed the scavengers that were on foot there, then got out of the SRV, went inside, and next thing I know, I see a notification saying my SRV was blown up.
Yeah, the SRVs, they go pretty quick. They do go pretty quick.
It was not any fun at all. And then the question was as to whether or not the stuff that I had absconded with out of the lockers the first time and stored inside the SRV is whether or not I would lose them. But apparently I did not.
You don't. No, you keep that stuff. Once you get to the SRV and hand it over, kind of thing, it goes into your big magic bag of keeping things.
Yeah, that's so that made me happy as I didn't lose what I was trying to abscond with, and they sat there and killed me, and I just did the easy way. Responded back at my ship.
Do you know what you might like is good for you as you're approaching the base? Get your night vision on, right? And as you're approaching the base, you've got your ship armed with dumbfire missiles or dumbfire rockets, whatever you want to call them. But if you've got your ship lights off and you're on night vision, they're torch beams as they're running about in the base, and you can target them with dumbfire missiles. That's a quick way to get rid of at least one wave of them.
So it means I gotta go and configure another ship.
Just stick some missiles on the one you've got. It's easy.
Yeah, well, the Type 10 isn't that maneuverable around the base.
Yeah, you don't need to be maneuverable. You just need to be able to go, oh, there they are, boom. You don't need to be very maneuverable. So that definitely works. Definitely works.
Well, I think I just might try that next time.
You just give it a go. I think it'll work for you. And so that's you. You've been reading bases. What else have you been up to?
That's relatively about it. Just trying to survive. So,
Yeah.
So for the mug.
For the mug.
Mug.
Next up, we have somebody called Lithobreaker talking to Vulcarius. Oh, wait, that's me.
Yeah.
So, Vulcarius, how have you been?
Good evening, Lithobreaker. Good evening, Hutton Orbital. And I've been
Hello.
quite well, I would say. I've got a I've got a question though.
Mm-hmm.
For the apology officer.
Oh.
What do you call an anteater which is forced to listen to the section of Hutton Orbital News Live?
I don't know, but I might be using it next week.
The victim?
A mentally scarred Vark.
Oh, yeah, I'm having that.
That's good.
That is good. That was better than the actual one, but yeah, I'm keeping that one.
If you give it a
Please don't encourage him.
couple of weeks, give it a couple of weeks, everyone will forget.
I'll give it to next week.
And we'll throw it in.
We'll throw it in next week. I'll give it to you. If I remember. You're like, hang on, I've forgotten. Oh, dear.
So, moving swiftly on. How have you been? What have you been up to?
Oh, quite well. I I thought I would get around to trying out this trucking thing, because I haven't really done any trucking.
Mm-hmm.
So I took a look on the website, and I tried to find a system where Commander Waller 81 hadn't already been.
There's a few of them out there, but Chicks has been to those.
Oh, yeah. I was looking around Imperial space, and eventually I decided on the Boulder system.
Okay.
So I popped over to Hutton Orbital, bought some mugs and gin, sold one of each to all those places, even the ones on the ground and the outpost that was 60,000 light seconds away. I don't know how you do it.
Slowly.
Although they're right. There are a couple with docking offline though, so I don't know what to do about those. Although I think one of them had a ground conflict, so I might be able to go back to that one later.
Yeah, you have to make a note of those and return at some point, or hope that somebody else picks it up in the meantime.
According to Frontier, there's like 99.41% that has just never been explored.
No, they're outside the bubble.
But if it's but by definition, if they've never been explored, then they don't have any settlements on them, so you can't sell them anymore.
Well, we don't know because no.
Actually, we have discovered about 30,000 stations so far, or something ridiculous like that. 20-something thousand stations that have not actually been logged into the EDDB database until somebody took some mugs there.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a staggering number. It's a significant percentage, like 30 or 40% of the stations we've mugged are first-time muggings. So, there's a lot of stations out there, especially since Odyssey came online, that have just simply never had commanders visit them.
I'm glad we all had a moment of silence there just to appreciate how big a number that was.
I have noticed that I've been doing quite a bit of shooting in evasion systems as well, and I've noticed that there are quite a lot of Odyssey settlements, because I don't normally have settlements on. It's quite a lot of clutter, but I turn them on so I can see if there's one that's under attack, and then all those Odyssey settlements, they just get abandoned straight away.
Yeah, people just don't go there. Strange, it's weird. Yeah, I've just looked up the stats. They're in Chicks' figures. When we started Too Hot, Too Messy, there were 178,000 known stations. We have discovered since then an additional 40,019.
Dang.
Now, some of those it's by mugging them, and some of those it's because somebody else has visited them and added them to the EDDB database, which it's all based off of. But it's still a big chunk of stations that are unknown.
In any case, so I have another question, and it might be for the apology officer again, but we'll see. So when you do the what was it, the Hutton? No, the Hutton. It's not the sports results anymore. What's it now? Yeah.
Results, yeah.
What's your definition of the last 7 days?
It's not the last. Oh, are you talking about for the Hutton run?
User disconnected from your channel.
I was wondering if you might have noticed that.
No, we didn't
Yes.
see a thing.
No, nobody saw anything. Move along. Yeah, I did that on. I think I did it on Tuesday, and the idea was that I was going to get back. That I normally will go back and check it just before the show, but there were personal real life incidents today that prevented me from doing that. And as I got to it, I went, "Oh crap! I never updated that," and just kept reading. So yeah,
Yeah.
that information may have been let's not say wrong. Let's just say out of date.
Well,
So wrong.
Mia,
Well-
if you haven't checked it today, go and have a look.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I know about that. I don't know much about it, but I know it happened. How did that happen?
well, I was in a hurry. And I needed the
No,
funds.
Yeah,
come
no.
come on.
What exploit did you
Yes.
discover?
What did you actually do to get that time? Because
So what
So,
was
yeah,
the time?
55
the time
minutes.
was under an hour. It was 55 minutes.
Really, 55 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh.
No,
Although
not
there have
really.
been people in the forums have been saying that's possible for years.
Yeah.
Oh, what have they? Why? What was their explanation?
They'll
Oh.
say, "Oh, I've done it in an hour."
Oh,
Their explanation.
I did that in 45 minutes. No,
Well,
you
the
didn't.
everyone who thinks they can do it, they're it's just an hour. Well, what they're doing is they're just saying, right, 0.22 light years, work out
Full
what's
speeds
that-
and I'll slow down when I
Yep.
get there.
Exactly. They're not considering that you don't even reach 2000 C when you go to Hutton Orbital. So
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, their explanation is they were
52
talking through their
minutes and 31
backsides.
seconds. Yeah.
yeah,
52
they
minutes
never
and
actually.
31
Whereas that's the
seconds.
great thing about having an actual number like on the website, because if the number's there, then there was a way to do it.
Hang on, you've done
Um,
two like that. What are you up to?
What
did
I
you
needed a few
do?
more.
Well, what did you
well,
do?
see, I thought the first one was a bit slow, like a practice run. So I tried again to see if I could do it a bit better.
Did you know? Did you know?
Yeah, so I know you all awarded me a mug in return for being honest, and it'd be terrible of me not to continue doing that. So yes, what I did there was fundamentally a different way to reach Hutton Orbital, but I hope, if you hear me out, you'll actually like the idea, because it's kind of like an entirely new challenge of its own.
Right.
So, do you want to try and figure it out, or ask me for hints, or just George?
No, just tell me.
you what to do. Okay. Well,
You just tell me I have no patience.
okay. So the first thing what you have to do is you have to 2 ships, or more. In fact, it's probably good to have like a backup one, I suppose.
Yeah.
So you need good speed and jump range. So you use like a Asp Explorer or a Crate Phantom or something like that. And you fly out to a neutron star. So I use Jackson's Lighthouse for this. I'm pretty sure that you can use Beta Sculptor or SB if you want to. So you supercharge your ships, like one at a time, dock them on a fleet carrier that has a shipyard. Then you take one of those and jump it to Alpha Centauri. But then once you get to Alpha Centauri, you dock that on another fleet carrier with a shipyard. Then you transfer your other ship to it, which still has the supercharge. All right, with me so far?
Yes.
Right, so now you've got a ship in Alpha Centauri which has the supercharge, right? So you switch to that ship, lift off and enter supercruise, then start flying in Hutton direction. You don't need to be exact, just generally Huttonish. Then open up the galaxy map, and you go all the way across to the opposite side of the bubble on the map. You want the systems around HIP 30377, which I'm sure you know is also known as Maelstrom Haddad.
Okay.
You pick some Fargoid system, ideally to the left of that, so it's a little bit closer to Hutton Orbital, so kind of towards the coal sack, which they seem to be pretty interested in the coal sack. Like there's a lot of alerts that way, but whatever. You pick a controlled system there, and you jump there instead.
Okay.
Then you get hyperdict out of the jump, boost away from the interceptor, back into supercruise, then you fly the remaining 0.14 light years to Hutton Orbital.
Oh, that's a bit cheeky, isn't it?
That's
It's very
lucky.
clever.
And how exactly
Very
did you
clever,
discover
really.
this?
So, as I said, I've been fighting in the Tharg. I've been fighting in invasion systems. I get hyperdicted a lot, and I just noticed the when you jump to one of those systems, the place where you drop out, like if you boost away from the interceptor, but then if you look at the navigation and target the star and target where you were trying to go, you end up in the direction of where you try to jump. And how far out you end up depends on what's in the system. So if you've got stuff in the system which is 50,000 light seconds out, you're going to end up 50,000 and a bit-ish light seconds out. So you end up, I believe you end up, what was it? When I first tried it from normal space, not from Super Cruise, I ended up, let's see, I ended up 0.35 light years from Hutton and about 0.2 from Alpha Centauri A. But then when I did it from Super Cruise in the right, and I was, I'd started in Super Cruise in the right direction, then jumped to that was also, that bad one also happened when I tried to use a premium inject, and I tried to jump, that's the first thing I did. I used the premium FSD inject and tried to jump to the nearer systems in Oya, which is your local Maelstrom. But yeah, that sent me the wrong direction. But when I supercharged and transferred in and jumped across to Hadad, that worked. There's a few more tests that we have to do there.
That is fantastically inventive and expand.
Depending on what happens with those tests, which I don't know because they're tests, there might be more to come. But we'll have to see. But for now, you can absolutely get around 50, 51, 52 minutes.
Wow. Okay.
Incidentally, what I would suggest actually, you should see right now. I'm pretty sure it's just the Hutton helper's probably just seeing the frameshift jump event and seeing that it's to Alpha Centauri and then checking for if you're docked at an orbital. Whereas if Intarius Fusion and Tream were to fiddle that a little bit, there are probably a few tells you can use. If you're jumping from Alpha Centauri would be one. If you don't have Alpha Centauri targeted by the jump, it might be another. But in any case, that might be a way to separate them because it's like a league of its own. It's like a completely different challenge.
Yeah, it's like a separate thing though, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know if he's noticed it yet, but we might have to point that out to him.
Yeah, I think we will. With a bit of an explanation on how it's done so we can look through the logs and see what's going on.
Well, we've got that. It's all recorded now. We can explain it to him.
Yeah.
Hopefully you don't hate me too much for doing that.
No.
No more than we did before.
Yeah. Very impressed, especially by the creativity of discovering the method.
Yeah. It's the refinement I like. I mean, you discover it and you go, oh, that's a thing. And then suddenly it's, well, how do I get it to go in the right direction? I'm going to try jumping to all the different maelstroms.
I don't think you need to jump to all because you can. I was targeting systems until I one which was around the direction of Hutton Orbital for me. So.
Yeah, it's kind of in the right direction, isn't it?
Yeah, you kind of have to I targeted HIP 30377, then I targeted some other system in a known direction, like on the galaxy map from it, and looked which way that targeting went, so I could roll myself. So then I'd bomb the right way up. Then you can kind of get a system that's closer to Hutton Orbital.
Yeah.
As it happens, you might as well. I can just tell you, just go for the ones closer to the coal sack, like off to the side. They're the ones you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Genius.
That's quite
absolute genius.
That's very, very clever. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, little round of applause there.
Yes.
You don't have a button for that? I'm pretty sure.
No, we've got slappy human hands.
I could offer you a drink.
I suppose it's percussive enough. That'll have to do.
Don't ask what you stirred it with.
Well, if you want percussive,
ow, ow.
That's what you get for it.
Not a bong followed by Commander Volcarius cheats his way to victory.
It's not cheating; it's creative interpretation of the rules.
Absolutely.
Yeah, at least
by this time next week it'll be cheating.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to see
User
what people
joined your channel.
It'd be good, like
I'd like
you
to see
say, running it as a separate league, it would be good.
Yeah, it'd be good to see what people dream up there. I'm pretty sure you can get away. I mean, I didn't even. Well, the first one I got interdicted, but the and not by the Thargoid, that is, like on the way. And the although I didn't use like navlock or anything like that, so I'm pretty sure you can do that faster.
Somebody might be able to get the 45 minutes that they've been boasting about on the forums for years.
If what I have in mind, like if my got a hypothesis at the moment, if that pans out, you'd be looking at like 10 minutes. But we'll see.
Okay.
No, that'd be impressive.
Yes.
Well, there's a slight caveat to that. You would have to reach Hutton Orbital first before you can get your 10 minutes to Hutton Orbital.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, that's a bit of a false economy, that one.
Right. So you may not reach it in one piece, for example.
Well, I don't. Well, the only thing that could really cause that is the Thargoid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Would you then would you fly to Hutton and then try to jump out to the coal sack, get interdicted, and land back at Hutton or something, or land 10 minutes out from Hutton?
It's more that the hypothesis I want to test in question, I've noticed it's way more reliable if you have like a completely empty system, which is what is pretty good for using when you're around the invasion areas. If you've got your fleet carrier, it's pretty good. What I do is I hit like down or up on the map, and I look for some like cold 285 sector, whatever, that's completely empty. But when it's completely empty, you after the hyperdiction, if you point yourself towards the target system, the origin star is exactly behind you, like it's perfect. Whereas what I'm finding in Alpha Centauri is that it's not, and I'm wondering whether it has to do with getting all those maybe you have to get Alpha Centauri A, B, and Proxima behind you. If you get it all behind you, then see if it's more accurate.
So once you're on the far side of Proxima, you might be able to accurately do the jump. Unfortunately, that's
all three behind you at the same time.
At this point, Imperial Navy Intervention and Rescue does not actually know what will happen. So.
Well, we look forward to finding out vicariously through you.
Vicariously.
Yeah.
Where was that sounder you had again?
Which one?
The percussive one.
There we go.
Oh, the Badoom Tesh, because I said
the percussive one. I've never heard you call that before.
Yeah, I think that's a bit enough. That's probably enough for this month, though. So I'll say thank you all very much for the show. Hail the Empress, and for the mug.
Thank you for listening. We wouldn't have much of a show without you. For the mug.
Mug.
Flossy to Amelia.
Yes. So Amelia, how have you been doing?
Ooh, let me think. Well, I have managed to procure more fossils for my collection this week, which is kind of cool.
Oh yes, I saw some of them.
Yeah. See, nobody knows this. Everyone's me and Flossy are laughing because one of them is a coprolite. And it's just one of those.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you must have if you collect fossils, because people come into your house, they say, "Ooh, what's that?" Well, that's an Ursa paw, an Ice Age cave bear. "Ooh, what's that?" Well, that's a mosasaur jaw. "Ooh, what's that?" That's a little piece of shit.
That's a turtle jobby.
Fossilized shit.
It's a must-have for exactly. It's a must-have for any fossil owner, any person that collects fossils. You must have a coprolite, which is essentially fossilized poop. Mine happens to be from a turtle and is about 40 million years old, which I think is kind of cool, and everyone else thinks is disgusting.
Still look brown though.
I think it's kind of cool.
I think it's clever that you know all that.
Yes.
Yeah, you just freak them out more when you start holding it in your hands. Be like, look, take a closer look.
It's actually shaped like a poo, which is why I bought it in the first place. Because literally, you could just say it's a piece of shit, and it looks like it as well.
Yeah. Go on, lick it. You know you can.
Oh, yeah.
It's stone. It's not a poo.
It's a nice swirly one.
Oh, lovely.
A swirly one, right. Can't be a swirly one.
Beautiful coils.
But I mean, I got an Ursa paw as well, so I kind of posted that up on Facebook quickly after, saying,
Yes.
Saying not all of them are shit.
I don't just collect poo.
Yeah, I don't just collect shit.
I mainly collect shit, but I don't just collect shit.
There's a double meaning there.
Exactly. I am, aside from that, I am seriously considering going exploring. With all the talk we've had today about only 0.0.
Oh, yeah.
9%.
Yeah. Get out there and find some of your...
I'm thinking about kitting up the ASP and picking a direction and not stopping until we're at 1%.
If I may follow up on the exploration, I have a new player that has started within, I'd say, probably the last month. Has maybe 20 hours in the game. In the bubble, he was able to name a planet.
Oh, wow.
Just outside of the starting zone. He wasn't very far. He came out maybe as far as LHS 449 and just took off in a random direction and found 3 planets in a system. None of them had a name. They had been they have been what is it? I'm terrible with it. Where they have been seen, but he scanned it. Thank you. He mapped it, and he got the credit for it, and that's within the bubble, and that's just mind blowing to me.
That is cool.
They're probably something like ice worlds are the kind of things that people just don't bother with, and you think, well, you can get your name on it,
Yeah, you get first footfall as well in a lot of places.
First footfall in a lot of those, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, see, I'm a VR player, so I'm probably going to be in my ship. Because you step out of your ship, and if you're in VR, and it completely discombobulates you.
Yeah. But you only have to take one step off the plate, and you're fine. That's it. It's your planet back on board.
Yeah.
You feel completely like, what was that word? What was last week's word? Muddlecroft or something?
Oh, Womblecroft.
Womblecroft. You step out of your ship and it gives you the Womblecrofts.
Yeah. It usually happens to me after too many pints.
Yeah, that's what I'm considering doing as soon as I get some free time. Which hopefully will be this weekend.
All right.
Yeah.
Good luck with it.
Get back in the cockpit and kit out my ASP for some nice deep space. Or maybe actually I might take my Type 9 because I love my Type 9.
Yeah, you don't need jump range for anything.
No, if you're going to go exploring, you
don't. No.
With a Type 9, you're getting all those nooks and crannies.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is that
you get up to about 45 light years at your Type 9. You get it out probably.
Yeah, but high jump range is for getting from A to B quickly. Low jump range is fine for exploring because you want to visit every star.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to do that.
I first started it, I had an ASP with 34 light year jump range, and I thought that was amazing. So, if you could do 45 in a Type 9, you do 45 in a Type 9.
That was my first ASP as well. It was like, back then you didn't have all the Guardian tech, you didn't have all the engineering, you didn't have any of that. It was just slap a jump drive on a cockpit and point in a direction. You get maximum about 35 light years. I went to the core in a 35 light year jump ship.
Yeah, I did.
And that was before you actually had what was it, your logbook to say that you'd been somewhere, and you had So my logbook,
you can only plot for 1,000 light years.
I've got a screenshot to prove that I've been to the core.
Yes,
but it's not in my logbook because it was before that existed.
To take a Hutton mug.
And the thing is, it took me 6 months to get there and back, so I'm not doing it again. I don't care how fast the range is on my ship. I'm not doing that bloody trip again.
Okay, so as playing this game a long time, learned something new. I was not aware that previous information was not in the logbook until the logbook came out. So that's kind of neat to know.
But I mean, that's what my plan is for this weekend, hopefully. Other than that, I'm just going to say for the mug.
Thank you for the mug.
Mug.
Or the mug.
Mug. Right, it's me, and I am speaking. Oh God.
Yeah, sorry.
Hello, Litho Breaker.
Hello,
What have you been
Mia.
up to this? What have you been up to? Come on.
Uh,
Spill the beans. Tell us what you did.
Mostly beating the what's name, the coprolite, I suppose you could say, out of the sound configuration of my PC, so that we got slightly longer than 17 minutes out of the show this week.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
And then I got a shiny new microphone because it's payday today. I thought, well, I'm not pushing buttons tonight. Overlight's doing that, so I can risk actually installing it. So I put it in first thing this morning. Then at lunchtime, Overlight said, I'm absolutely knackered because I've just come off nights. Litho, could you do the button punching tonight? And I thought, oh, flipping heck.
Yeah.
So, I've had
Here we are.
desperately making sure that everything actually worked with the new config and the new layout. So far, I think so.
Relatively seam-free. Yeah,
so far, fingers crossed, touch wood.
Yep.
So far. But yeah, that's pretty much been my week. Or 2 or 3. Still not had any time to play Elite, which is a little bit sad, but maybe this weekend. Maybe this weekend. Can always hope. So yeah, just for the sounds, for the mug from me.
For the mug.
Mug.
Next up is Amelia to Mia.
Hello, Mia.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
I'm pretty good, but this is about you, not me. I've had my turn.
Oh, it's all about me. You know that.
It's always all about you.
Always all about me. Well, I have been pottering about doing system restore, power restore missions in the bases, trying to collect stuff that I could then trade in for weapon components and tungsten carbide, so that I could upgrade my assault rifle, which I've done until 4, and then I need to go back and do it again and get it up to 5. But it's fine. I'm quite enjoying it. I like those kind of missions anyway, where you're getting in and putting the power back on and then stealing everything because you've got permission to be there. And just it'll cost you more than just the money, but yeah, I will put the power back on. So yes, that's been my kind of, when I've been able to get on, that's been what I've been up to, and it's been great fun. Really enjoyed it. And of course, whenever I see anything a mission with anything that I need, like a salvage mission or a drop a package off mission, I've been taking them as well. So just mission running, keep myself happy. And that's it. So,
and that's it.
Oh, the mug.
Are you not going to tell everyone about your beetroot burger?
Oh, my beetroot! I had 2 beetroot burgers tonight.
Oh, you can't tell us anymore. You've said for the mug now.
Yeah, that's true. I'll just sit here.
That's better. Oh, go on, seeing as it's you.
Okay, so in an effort to lower cholesterol and be slightly more healthy in the new year, I have been trying some vegetarian food, and tonight I tried beetroot burgers.
Now, just to be clear, that is not what I thought, as in a beef patty with beetroot on top. This is an actual patty made of beetroot.
Yeah,
which it baffles me.
Yeah, surprisingly nice. Not at all like a normal burger, but actually surprisingly nice. And I tried that. I would have them again. They wouldn't be my first choice, but I would have them again. And if somebody put one down to me, I wouldn't scream and run away. I wouldn't retch and do anything like that. They were nice.
Whereas we did concoct the possibility that a normal burger with sliced pickled beetroot on would be good.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Would be good.
Yeah.
Instead of pickle.
Yeah. Instead of pickled gherkin or something like that, you could just put pickled beetroot on it. Still pickly. Yeah.
We'll have to try that.
That's an experiment for another night. I still have 2 burger buns left, so yeah, we can do it.
Gotta do it. But I mean, are you good?
Am I good or am I well?
Both.
Good, no, well, yes.
Did you want to share more info on that?
I've been stealing at a basis. Come on.
Careful, watch out for the rating of the show.
I'm doing well. yeah, I've managed to bypass the January blues this year, and I'm just keeping myself going with one thing and another. So,
And do you
yeah, I'm
have
doing
all
great.
your paint jobs?
I do have all my paint jobs.
Because you should have got your last one, like, with this show.
Yeah, I did. Got the last one, so I got it pretty much near the start of the show. I did have a wee check earlier, and I've claimed it and everything. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to seeing that and having it possibly putting it on like a wee exploration asp or something like that at some point, and going, "Woo! Look at me,
Ooh, green and pretty."
Yeah. For the mug.
Mug.
Right then, me talking to Flossy. Flossy, how have you been?
Not too bad, thank you. Hope
Been
you
up to
are
anything
too.
exciting?
Nothing really. I've only really been in late when I've been checking the CGs each day.
Not been contributing to them then?
No. I don't really want to fight Dargoids, so I don't really want anything to do with the weapons. I don't do combat anyway.
Yeah,
but,
there is.
I don't mind doing the rescue stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Evacuations.
Yeah,
but,
they're from the evacuation
I don't know,
jobs.
I've been having a bit of change lately and been playing World of Warcraft.
Yeah, fewer Thargoids there.
Because it's been a recent expansion pack, so I've been getting into that.
Oh yeah, How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, Dragonflies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite good. It's definitely better than the last one was. I didn't like that at all. But this one I'm getting on quite well.
Good.
Most of the time. Except I can't get me... I have to get this really high mountain to get a glyph to complete me dragonflying tree.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't get it. I just cannot get it.
So what's the level cap now in Warcraft?
Well, they did a level squish, so that if you were like 100, it went down to 50.
Right.
It. Yeah, so Shadowlands took it up to 60. So we started Dragonflight at 60 to go up to 70.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember playing back in the day when 60 was the original level cap.
Yeah. I think it had just gone to 70 when I started. So I've been playing most of the time, just not all of it.
I started back in vanilla. Went all the way through to Kung Fu Panda. And then kind of dropped out.
Just before Burning Crusade I started.
Yeah. That was a good one, Burning Crusade.
It was, yeah.
I was in beta.
I started Night Elf there. In fact, I've just started another Night Elf, but this time a mage. Because they never used to have mages.
No, they didn't.
Night Elf, didn't they? Yeah. So Night Elf mage, I thought, oh, it's different.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah. So I'm back in town. This is on another server where there's a Facebook group I'm in called 55 and over still playing Warcraft. So I'm a member of that. And there's a lot of those members are in guilds for just over 55s.
Yeah.
But they're all in the US, so...
That's not much
anyway,
good, is it?
There's somebody on one of the EU servers who's said she's had a guild sort of to herself up to now, but she's now opening it up for 55 and over members.
Nice.
So I've started another character on her realm and applying to join her guild, which should be quite good. I think I just got fed up of being hassled in other guilds. There was one in particular I was okay with, and then there was this guild leader. She was always she'd come online, right, come on, everybody, let's do a raid. And I didn't always want to do a raid.
Well, no.
I was busy doing something, and anyway, she kept messaging me, are you coming? In a minute. And I thought, no, I'm not. I don't want to. So in the end, I just told her, I said, no, I don't feel like it. Oh, come on, you must, you got. And anyway, I can't. We had a few carries on like that, so I just left the guild there and then.
Don't blame you. Don't blame you at all.
Oh, dear, should have heard it. Oh. So anyway, I went on my own for a while, and then I joined another one. The other one was it was by mistake, really. I thought it was a ready check. It was a guild invite.
Oops.
Oops. Because I'd said to her, I'm going to be independent, and then suddenly I was a member of this other guild. And I said, well, it was an accident because, I thought we were doing a raid and there was a ready check and I just clicked it and then, oh, hell, I'm a member of...
Easy mistake to make.
But that one's now fizzled out more or less. Everybody's gone on to other things, so...
Yeah.
I've just been going it alone for quite a while now.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it would be nice to get in another one, and especially if it's aimed towards older players. So that if we do things, we'll take our time, and if we don't know something, we won't get shouted at.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm quite looking forward to that as a change.
Sounds good.
I admit I do a lot of solo nowadays.
Yeah. Well, I've been doing solo for ages now. Because when I first started Warcraft, it was with a friend from Second Life. He sort of persuaded me to start playing, and we played together for a while. And then he just disappeared on me, best.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he disappeared in Second Life as well, so I've not really seen
That's a shame.
anything of him. Well, he was a bit creepy, actually.
Less of a shame, then.
Yeah. He was, we were sort of together in Second Life. You do these things, it's not real life.
Yeah.
But
In the nicest possible way, there are quite a lot of creepy people in Second Life.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think he was at first, but then I used to go off doing teaching people about clothing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I had these sort of commitments like once a week. And I was turned up to do my lessons, and then I'd go back, and I was aware that he was following me.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just keeping... I had like a radar thing on, and I could see he was there. And yet he denied flatly he'd been anywhere near, And he was just so jealous.
Yeah.
And I know at one point he saw me talking to somebody in our house that we had, and he ended up moving it up into the sky. What the heck's he doing? And it was only afterwards I realised that, he was just insanely jealous. All the time.
Sounds like you're possibly better off without him. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yes, definitely better off without him. But it was him who introduced me to Warcraft. So
Well, he did something good then.
he did something good. Yeah. Anyway, that's enough of me, I think. I've talked enough. So, I'll say for the mug.
For the mug.
Mug.
And Flossy talking to Dogwolf.
All right. Dark Wolf. And how you been doing?
I've been doing pretty well, actively playing Elite as I'm watching the green screen.
All right.
Just grinding away.
Very nice to see you. I don't think I've seen you in here before. Nice to meet up with you.
Short version, been a part of the community for a while, but decided to be more involved and talk with all the other folks. And usually I'm just the silent fighter in the background when we're at war, and that's usually where I'm hiding out at. That's kind of the shorts of me. Currently at the moment, I'm just playing space trucking, going from one place to another and restocking the funds. I was broke. I was below 100 million at one point, and I was like, yeah, I've got a problem. I can't risk losing my ships.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do some serious stuff in... I've got 3 fleet carriers on different accounts And I just noticed the other day the funds are getting a bit low, so I'll have to get back in game and get some money making done. I don't want to
Yeah, my personal goal at the moment is to beat Fishy. I was beating him last week in the charts, and he beat me just at the end of it. So now I'm just trying to stay ahead of him.
Fishy. Right. So, should I know who Fishy is?
He just another one of the truckers. He recently got back into the game.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah, he popped up in TeamSpeak a little earlier, but...
I thought I saw somebody called Fishy or something, yeah.
Yeah, he seemed to be having audio problems, though. There were strange clicks coming from him, and then he dropped out, so I don't know if he was having connection issues.
Yeah. There was somebody else as well disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's quite a few here tonight. And it's nice to talk to you.
Yeah, no, absolutely a pleasure for me, and a pleasure to be more involved in the community and talking with everybody. And I guess at the moment, that's it for me. So for the mug.
Okay, thank you very much for the mug. Is that everybody now?
Yeah, I think we've run out of people. Everybody's been spoken to. We're all good.
That's a good green room this week.
Yeah, very busy one. I noticed the viewing numbers kept going up as well. They've dropped a bit now, but they went up to about 46 or something before.
Wow. Good week.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Everyone stick around while we've done green room. Pretty good.
Does make for a long show, but, well,
Yeah.
it makes up for the 17 minutes last time I was teching.
Oh,
Yeah, it does. It can happen.
People can have their paint
It has
jobs.
been longer. We've been on till 11 o'clock in the past.
True.
Yeah, there was that time David was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just see.
But the thing is,
he hadn't spoken to anybody.
Ebullient.
so-
didn't you say the current paint jobs run out on the end of this month?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. It means that everyone has managed to get their paint job. Hopefully, everyone's managed to get their paint jobs.
Yeah. It's the annoying thing this time around with the drops is that you have to claim each one before you can start gathering time towards the next.
That's true.
So I don't know if they're going to be doing that next month. They mentioned something about it being imposed by Twitch the way it had been set up this month, and it wasn't intentional.
Yeah.
But I don't know whether...
I think that's a Twitch thing.
Yeah, I don't know whether that's a permanent Twitch thing or just something about the settings
I
this
think
time.
it
So
starts on the 1st and goes for 28 days or something, isn't it?
yeah.
Damn you,
And this is a Twitch thing, yeah.
So
There we are.
first is next Wednesday. So next week's show, hopefully we'll have new drops and there'll be a lot of people still looking for time on them.
Yeah.
Yay!
Cool. Well,
That'd be cool.
same time next week, same bat channel, with hopefully new drops. And David should be back and pushing buttons.
Yay!
I'm not going to say yay because I think
No,
Luther
actually,
Breaker's done a really good job.
He has
tonight.
done a really
Don't
good
say
job.
it. We haven't
Yeah.
finished the show yet. There's still loads of time for things to go wrong.
I was going to say it's much better than last time.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yes. Much better. Yeah.
When he broke everything.
I didn't break everything. I just broke the audio.
You just broke most of it. Yeah, that's true.
But when
Just
we're
the listening
doing
speaking
radio,
parts.
isn't the audio like the most important thing?
The video feed to Twitch was perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. That's,
1 out of 2. Who can complain?
Yeah,
Who could-
50-50. Anyway, it's more of the bandwidth's on video than audio, so I mean, if you look at it that way, most of it was working. And the text chat was fine as well, so don't know what people are moaning about.
Yeah. I told you should have pasted the whole script into text and let them read it for themselves.
Yeah, that wouldn't have gone down well with the podcast audience, though.
Yeah. No. And then we still wouldn't have had a script for it. We just had to write a new script for last week.
That's true, yeah. We managed recycling. It's eco-friendly.
Eco-friendly scripts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There we go. Are we going to do the thing?
I don't know if we should do the thing with everyone unless we warn everyone, because we've got a lot of people in the room right now.
Then everyone in the room can join in. You see?
Oh, yeah?
You see? Right.
Loud noise warning.
Do we have an awooga? Yes, we have an awooga.
We do have an awooga.
For the mug!
For the mug!
For the
Mug.
For the mug.
No journey too long and no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. Loading up the T-9s to the brim with grain. For the mug, for the mug. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, for the mug. Now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug. Flossy always seems to crash into the sun. Swivel likes the pilot on the Xbox One. Alvin at the front, you know he leads us well. Trucking across the galaxy, now everybody yell. For the mug, for the mug. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, for the mug. Now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug, for the mug. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, for the mug. Now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. Give me a launch pad that I can land on, and I'll give you my cargo and sing you my song. No part 22 light years to go. Cruising to Hutton, whoa, whoa, whoa. No journey too long and no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. So shout it out loud like you don't even care. For the mug, for the mug. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, for the mug. Now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug, for the mug. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, for the mug. Now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're very sorry, but that's the end of the show. Everyone's buggered off now, so why don't you bugger off too?
Seamless.